Hello and welcome to Lotus on Track. This week we have races from the Lotus Cup Europe here in the beautiful Magny Cours, and also coverage from the Elise trophy back in Oulton Park in Cheshire. Let's have a quick look at how they all got on.
Thanks, Amy. Welcome to a blustery Oulton Park, the picturesque Cheshire circuit, home to the third meeting of the 2011 Lotus on Track Elise Trophy season. Cars on their formation, that with Luigi Mazza on pole position, Ken Savage alongside him. Interesting second row with Ben Hyland and Dan Plant, and Sean Nash well up in fifth. His first race back since the Sneston start line pile-up, and Chris Dunster well up in seventh from qualifying. Full grid as ever for the Lotus on Track Elise Trophy. The red lights on and away we go. It's Mazza in 91 car, makes a good getaway. Ken Savage in the all yellow Perry's machine matching, but it's going to be Luigi Mazza who leads into Oulton for the first time. That's Sean Nash who's up into third, Ben Hyland in fourth, and then Dan Plant trying to go around the outside into fifth position. Through he goes, a couple taking to the grass, but more or less everybody cleanly through, which is what we want to see as the field blast through Denton's, down the avenue and into Cascades. A fast left-hander. Out of Cascades they come, and on towards Island Bend, the quickest part of this Oulton Park circuit. And it's Mazza who's got the advantage and is already just beginning to stretch his legs a little bit over Ken Savage. The pair of them have been locked in battle thus far this season. It's great to see Sean Nash well up in third place. So through the Shell hairpin they come, and then on towards the Bristol chicane, the first of the two flip-flop chicanes on the lengthy backstretch of the Oulton Park circuit. Plenty of fighting going on behind. That's Chris Dunster, who is just looking to try and make a move on Dave Carr. No way through there, so Carr in number 30 car maintaining his position. Dunster with then his teammate Adam Busey in close attendance over Hilltop and into Hizzies, whereas we were, except to say that Ben Hyland is just beginning to come under a little bit of pressure as again Chris Dunster challenges. There's no way through there surely, and Dave Carr turns across and claims the racing line, so Carr maintaining his position momentarily through Knickerbrook and over Clay Hill. This is a potential overtaking opportunity if he's feeling brave out of Druids for the leaders. And Ken Savage just beginning to come back towards the tail of Luigi Mazza, and that gap down by a couple of car lengths from when we last saw them. Ben Hyland having a good tussle with the 97 car on his tail as Dunster goes for the move on Dan Plant, and through he goes. So he cleared Dave Carr into Druids, and he looks like he's going to find his way past Dan Plant. He goes past Plant over dearly and gaining the place. Nicely done from Chris Dunster. Andy Dolan fighting back on the tail of Ben Hyland. That's a new colour scheme for Andy this weekend. We've seen previously the white car with the blue Saltaire on the roof. Now it's the black car with the silver Saltaire. As around goes Chris Dunster. Dunster loses it, gaining two places in two corners. He spins the ball away and is very lucky not to be collected by those following on behind. That's Tanya Mann in the red car just going past him, so he's well down the order. And Chris Dunster, well, you can see the grass and dust he's kicked onto the circuit. No harm done except for a bit of pride. But what about this at the front, because Savage is beginning to challenge Mazza, and Savage looks to the inside into the Shell hairpin. Not really enough room to go too wide there, so instead he's going to settle in behind Mazza and look to challenge into Britons again. That is more or less a single file corner unless you can do the move nice and early, and Savage not quite close enough, so hopping over the curbs they come. And this is a reverse of the Silverstone meeting in April, because then it was Mazza trying to find his way past Savage. Today it's Savage just trying to prize an opening past Luigi Mazza. Then we've still got this good fight behind Sean Nash and Ben Hyland with Andy Dolan in close attendance. So dicing as ever, as a slide from Ken Savage at Hizzies, and that's going to cost him a little bit through Knickerbrook, because the key is the exit speed to carry that momentum up over Clay Hill. The road rising very steep. Well, look at this battle in the midfield, and there you get a glimpse of the recovering Chris Dunster. That's the sky blue number 11 car, so you can see he was a little bit of a way down the order. There's Seth Walpole mixing it as ever. He's got Paul Baker for company. Paul Baker, and that's the cow liveried car. As what about this for third position, because Sean Nash and Ben Hyland, the battle is really becoming joined. Look at the slide from Ben Hyland on the exit of Oulton. That's what we like to see, as we've got Adam Busey to the inside of Dan Plant. So wherever you look, there's overtaking manoeuvres going on, and that's Stuart Plotneck. Now he qualified well down the order in 15th on the grid. He goes past Dave Carr, so he's up into the top six. Great driving. Back to the fight for third position, and Ben Hyland, just get a sense, is beginning to bide his time and wait to make that decisive challenge on Sean Nash. Through Ireland into the Shell hairpin isn't really the optimal place to make a manoeuvre, because when it goes wrong, it can go very wrong. So he settles in behind him into the chicane of British. You can see Matza and Savage just streaking off in the distance, as that's a good run from Ben Highland up over Hilltop, and here Sean Nash is going to have to go very defensive as they plunge back down the hill towards Hizzies. It's Nash in the blue car to the inside, Ben Highland to the outside in the yellow, orange and grey machine, and I think Nash is just about going to prevail on the brakes. Yes, he does, and that was nicely done by both drivers, because Sean Nash had to take a very tight line into Hizzies, but Ben Highland gave him racing room, and so they remain as they were. Nash in third, Ben Highland in fourth position. Over Clay Hill they go. There's Andy Dolan in fifth, and out of Druids, and this battle still raging. So there's Luigi Matza leading as he has done since the start of the race. Ken Savage may just have to settle for second this time around, and then Sean Nash in third. Now Sean Nash, if you cast your mind back to March, is one of the drivers involved in an enormous accident that started the season at Snetterton. It's great to see him back in Lotus Cup Europe Trophy, and super to see him at the very front of the field, as kicking up the dust is Ben Highland as they surge over Dearly and into Oulton corner once more. Such a quick corner this, and again a slide from Highland, but it gives him a bit of good momentum as we go a little bit lower down the order. That's Graham Tavender in the 77 machine, as we've got an instant, and it's Chris Dunster again, would you believe? Chris Dunster, he's got it all mixed up, and I think that is race over hit for him, as we've got a change for third. It's Ben Highland who's now third. He loses it at Highland. Highland goes off and he contacts Sean Nash. That's a huge accident as Sean Nash spins wildly to a halt, and he was completely the innocent party there as well, because it was Ben Highland who lost it all of his own accord. The door opening and Sean Nash clambers out of the car. He is uninjured, which I'm very glad to see. Ben Highland, I suspect, may not go much further, because that is a slightly battle-scarred machine, as this is now the fight for third position. It's Adam Busey and Stuart Plotneck. So from 15th on the grid, Plotneck's now in the fight for third position. We're coming towards the closing stages here at Oulton Park, and Plotneck asking all the right questions. Stuart Plotneck, a multiple MG champion prior to moving into Lotus Cup Elise Trophy midway through last season, and Adam Busey, who was one of the rookies of the year in 2010. A great battle between the pair of them. Well, here is the replay for Highland Nash incident, and look at that. Sean Nash very lucky not to go over, the car spinning luridly to a halt in the gravel trap. And see both drivers walking away as James Proctor is involved in a battle of his own, and a bit of a slide there, and off goes the number 32 car, and that is Frank Matthews. So a bit of a disaster there for Frank as we go back to the battle for third. And look at this, Dan Plant's coming short on the party as well. So we've got what's turning into a three-way tussle for third, and we really are coming to the very end of this race. So Stuart Plotneck running out of time to find his way past Adam Busey. Lodge is a potential opening, although he looks to set up move into Druids. They climb over Clay Hill, as into Lodge for the final time comes Luigi Matza. This has been a super drive from Matza, and it's going to be a lights to flag victory. So Luigi Matza winning the first race at Oulton Park. He claims the win. It's second to Ken Savage, but what about the fight for third? That's what we want to see. And into Lodge, here comes Plotneck. He's got to run on the inside. He moves to the inside of the circuit. Busey gives him a car's width. Fair driving from Adam, but it's going to cost him a place on the podium, I think, because Plotneck gets the run out of Lodge corner over Dearly and up to the flag, and Plotneck does it. From 15th on the grid to third on the line is Adam Busey in fourth and Dan Plant in fifth. Absolutely scintillating battle between the pair of them. They thoroughly enjoyed that. So classification with the win for Matza, Ken Savage second, Stuart Plotneck third, and then Simon Jones and Nigel Hannam well up in the top 10. Great race.
You're driving the new Evora this season. Tell me a little bit about the car first.
It's a very nice car. It's a GT4 car, so it's fast. Need to learn to drive with the car because it's different to the 211, but I'm sure once we get good in settings of suspension, it will be a fast car. So it has a lot of downforce, and that's the most important thing. The only problem for the moment is the weight, but we need to find a solution with the settings, so then we arrive, yeah.
Do you prefer the 211?
This one is more GT, so this is a car who is good. You can drive every race with your car. You can do over whole Europe. You don't need to modify the car. The Evora is a race car, and that is the advantage.
Well, lining up on pole position is the double race winner from Dijon, Remy Pourchevat. Alongside him is Christophe Lesandre, the effervescent Frenchman, always goes well, particularly at his home circuits. There is Philippe Luc. It's good to see Philippe well up the grid. He's normally towards the bottom end of the top 10, so good qualifying from him. And that's Juan Fabrice in the 73 car. So it's the 211s dominating at the head of the field as the cars setting off on their green flag. That rolling start as ever for the first race of the meeting in the Lotus Cup Europe. That's why the safety car leads them away. So here's the grid with Remy Pochevin on pole position, Christophe Legendre alongside him, and Philippe Luc and Fabrice Juan. Carl Vivian well up in 5th, and Jean-Baptiste Meusnier ready out top 6. Steve Williams, the sole Brit, in 8th position from what is a very multinational top 10. Cars on what is a fairly slow formation lap here. They really aren't having the opportunity to get any heat into the tyres, although it is keeping the field nicely bunched as we come towards the end of this Magny Cours lap. So it's the red car of Remy Pochevin in pole position, Christophe Legendre there in 2nd place. That's the black machine within the Jackson Pollock-esque streaks with Philippe Luc, the all-red car, Juan Fabrice, the white machine. Those will be the cars to pick out at the start of the race. Now, although the finish line is at the back end of the grid here, the start line is right at the front end, so that will give the opportunity for the field to form up side by side as Pochevin paces the field along the start and finish straight. He's got his eyes to the gantry and those red lights flash out. We'll be racing here at Magny Cours. And away we go, and it's a good start from Remy Pochevin. He puts his foot down. Christophe Legendre, though, following in close behind him as they all surge through turn 1, very closely bunched ahead of the field. Somebody running a little bit wide. I think that's Juan Fabrice actually in the 73 machine. It's the all-white car certainly that's had a little bit of an escapade. Several others running slightly wide. That's Jean-Baptiste Meusnier, although he gathers it up in the Exige and maintains 5th position through Estoril. They then accelerate along this back stretch. They have got the fast right-hand kink. That will take them down to the somewhat notorious Adelaide hairpin, which is often seen as so much drama on that one, as Olivier Severini makes the move on Steve Williams. So Williams demoted a slot as it's Pochevin who's got the advantage, and then fast starting there from Carl Vivian. So Carl Vivian going up into 3rd position, passing Philippe Luc at the hairpin. Glad to see that everybody's cleanly through, as we've got Juan Fabrice trying to recover from his first corner moment when he ran a little bit wide. He moves to the inside now. Is he going to make that stick? That's a little bit too hot in the chicane. Over the curbs he goes, off the road. He gains the place on Jean-Baptiste Meusnier just about. Well, plenty more to come. We'll be back at Magny Cours in a moment.